Shalom. Before I begin this video, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Rahawa Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that still to this very day continually rule very well. And Shalom to the whole elect that's continually laboring in his work, that's giving our diligence to make your calling election sure, and our faith, true sincerity. Shalom. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled Persecution of Israel once again, which, since we know in history, back during the time of 70 AD, when our people, Israel, were in that region of Rome, when 7 AD came about, which was the persecution of the nation of Israel, which was headed by General Titus, and to which our people were scattered from that region through the four corners. So the majority went to the west part of Africa. Some went east to the far east. Some went to the northern part of that region, even to the southern part. So the southern kingdom, the southern kingdom of Israel, which was there during that time, because the northern kingdom had already left out of that region during the time of the Assyrian captivity. All right, so during that time, the southern kingdom was there, and when 7 AD came about, which is known as the persecution of the Jews, that's when we scattered, and the majority of us went to the east, the western part of Africa. All right, now the same persecution that happened back during that time of 7 AD is going to happen once again. All right, because the same people that were there that were ruling during that time, the Edomites, which are the so-called white people that were ruling during that time, they're back in rulership today, in which they have complete control over the whole world. And that same persecution that happened back then is going to happen again. All right, but this time it's going to be even more detrimental. All right, like it's pursuing onto Daniel, the 12th chapter, and the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter and the 7th verse, going into Jacob's trouble. Okay, so what we're about to witness is a repeat of the persecution of Israel, in which they're going to be targeting the men that have been laboring in this work, the ones who are of the part of the elect number. All right, they're going to be targeting the members of the whole elect. Okay, now I want to go ahead and jump to the book of Matthews, the 24th chapter, and start at the 15th verse. It says, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. All right, now this is talking about afterwards, because actually this is talking about now, because the abomination that make it desolate, a part of that happened back when the Greeks took over, which was headed by Antiochus Epiphanes, which was a part of the I'm trying to remember the dynasty. It was it wasn't Cassander, but it was the Seleucus dynasty. All right, so Antiochus came out of this the Seleucus dynasty, right? Antiochus Epiphanes, and that's when he sacrificed the pig on the altar of the Lord. All right? Now that's a part of it, but right here, when our Lord spoke about this came after that happened. All right, so that's why in the same verse it said, "Whoso readeth, let him understand." So the abomination that make it desolate, which is spoken of by Daniel the prophet, is talking about the coming persecution of Israel once again. Okay, and I'm gonna get that in a little bit. All right, it's in verse 16 it says, "Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains." See, now this is talking about back then, when they were dwelling in that region. Okay, and they did flee into the mountains. All right, that's why you have a time, or should I say, during that time you had Masada. All right, you had our people that were driven to the mountains, and they starved to death. So when Yahushua said that, who these people initially called Jesus, that literally took place when the one that's in Judea fleeing to the mountains. Okay, now verse 17 says, "Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house." All right, and verse 18 said, "Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes." Okay, so it's going to come a point in time to where, some of the Akim that's allotted to to the situation, they'll have to end up fleeing out of the city, man. All right, they might have to leave out of the city, go to another place, whatever the Lord leads them to. Okay, so that's a real situation, man, and actually it's going to take place, man. All right, we're not speaking about this just to speak on it, man. This is actually going to take place. Okay, that the elites of Esau have already made plans to persecute our people, well, specifically the ones that are doing the work. If you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite and you're doing the work, then they're targeting you. All right, and we already know this, man. That's why spiritually we're getting ourselves prepared. Okay. Now, verse 19 it says, "And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days." All right, if they can, if they have a chance to, they'll take advantage of that opportunity concerning the children, man. They'll probably take your kids, might hold them and hold them up and threaten you. So that's why it says, "And woe to them that which with child, or that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days." Okay. "But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be." All right. So when that time comes, they might threaten you with, your family members or, anything like that. Well, you just have to, the thing is that, man, look, we looking towards the kingdom, man. All right. So everything that we lose on this side, we're going to get it back, man. All right. You might lose your family, you might, or any situation like that, But just remember that, look, we're looking towards the kingdom, man. All right. Because this is the time now to prepare your mind, all right, pursuant to Isaiah the 33rd chapter and 6th verse, right? Because the kingdom outweighs everything that you see on this side, man. Everything that we have on this side is temporal, man. All right, and also think about it, man. Everything that we have on this side right now is accounted as dung, man. Even the Apostle Paul said that he count all things as dung compared to this work, to the truth. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Now I want to jump from there. I want to get the book of Revelations. Actually, it's like I'm gonna get the book of Daniel. Then I'm gonna jump to Revelations, because the scriptures speak about it in Matthew 24 chapter. It says, and then there shall come a time, since you have never seen before, which is not gonna be compared to the other times that have happened back during the course of history. Now, this is the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter, and the first verse. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time." Okay? So this is the time of trouble that it's talking about, when Esau's about to come down on us, try to grab us up. The same persecution that happened back then is going to happen again, man. All right? Now, that bears in mind the time of the ruler during that time in the Roman Empire, Nero, when he burned down one of the cities of Rome, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember specifically. I got to go back into my notes, but Nero pretty much burned down the city and blamed it on the Jews. All right. So, and that's what they've been doing over a process of time, man. Everything that's been happening, they link it towards what they call extremist groups, in which they put us down, us that calls ourselves Hebrew Israelites, they put us down as an extremist group. All right. And they're going to use that as an excuse to come get us, man. Okay. And reading us says, "Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book." Okay? So in that time, you're going to know who's who. All right? Actually, I'm going to grab a quick precept real quick. Slack, yeah, I misspelled it. Wow. Slack. I don't know why my app does that. Slovakia. Maybe I'm looking for is in the Apocrypha. Actually, Slovakia, I had it. I already had it. Slovakia. So Second Esdras, the 16th chapter, in the 70th verse, 70th. Slovakia. It's hard to say that. The 70th verse, it says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord," because during that time of Jacob's trouble, pursuing what I just read, also to Jeremiah the 30th chapter and the 7th verse, they're going to come down on the nation of Israel and persecute us, but really they're going to be targeting us, all right, us that call ourselves Hebrew Israelites. Okay? And they're going to involve the whole nation. All right? But the main target, like I said before, the main target is us. Okay? Verse 71, it says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses." And that's literally what's going to happen. They're going to break into our people's houses, take away all their goods, take away all their resources. And that's going to be during the time of martial law. All right? To where they're going to have complete control over everything that you have, that you possess. And like it says right here, it says, "and cast them out of their houses," right? To where everything's going to be rationed off. All right? Because what we witness in Venezuela is going to come here, man. All right? Because Venezuela, with the situation that went down in Venezuela, it's a prelude to what's going to go down here in America. Okay? Now, verse 73 said, then shall they be known. All right? So when that time comes, right? Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. So that during that time, that's going to be the times of trial, man. That's going to be the ultimate test of our faith in that day. To whether whether you say what you mean, man. If you say you believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, you're doing the work, and you really believe this, then guess what? That day is gonna declare it, man. Why is that? Because that's gonna be the fiery trials that's gonna come upon us in that day. All right. Now I want to go back to the blue letter. I want to go to the book of Revelations, the 12th chapter. And at the 12th verse, it's Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you," and we already know who the devil is, all right? That's Esau, the so-called white man, all right? And Slacky, hold on, just passing through this bullshit here. Slacky, I'm in transit. It says, "For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." And we're seeing that happening right now, man. We're seeing that he's running on borrowed time right now. Why is that, man? Because things are escalating over the situation in Syria. You have America just recently pulled out of the nuclear deal. World War III is on the horizon. So Esau's about to come down with great wrath, man, because he's running on borrowed time right now. He's running on a time clock, all right? Because Esau has a specific time to rule, all right? And he's running out of time. So he's gonna try his damnedest to achieve his new world order. All right. Now I want to grab one last precept. I'm gonna close it on out. Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, in the 6th verse. Let's see if I can go down to it real quick. Slack you. It's Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, in the 6th verse. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation." So wisdom and knowledge in that day is going to be our stability, man. Knowledge and wisdom of what? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, because that's what's going to deliver us in that day. All right. Not no stockpiling or gathering resources. Having a bunker set up. A shelter that's set aside. No, man. Wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of our times, man. All right. Which leads to faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, because right now, man, they're trying tooth and nail to get this word away from us, all right? Because they realize that this word that we have is power. This is our power source. This is the comforter that is near and dear unto us that we have right now, all right? Which is through the Holy Spirit. So we have Yahushua with us, all right? And they're trying to take that away from us, but the thing is that it is too late, all right? Because we're reading out of the physical word, right? But through that process of reading out of the physical word, we've gained the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So even with we don't have it physically right in our hands, but we know it. All right. That's why if you meditate on the scriptures, precepts start popping up in your head. Like this precept, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Other scriptures, other prophecies popping up in your head. So, there's nothing Esau can do at this point, man. It's way too late for them to do anything. All right. That fire that was kindled back then, starting with Abba Bivens, all right, has bloomed into a blaze. It's grown into a full-grown blaze now, all right? And Esau can't contain it. All right, now I'm gonna read this verse again. It says Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, in the 6th verse. It says that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is his treasure. Okay, so that's also known as the strength of our salvation. Okay, which leads to what? Faith. All right, sincerely believing in the whole word. All right, believing in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, believing that he's going to bring us through these hard times that we were about to go through, the persecution. So in that day, you know, through faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, we're going to be protected, man. All right. But the stipulations of that is don't falter, man. Don't waver in your faith. All right. Because that's going to be the ultimate test of faith in that day, like I mentioned earlier. All right. So, which is also known as crunch time, man. That's when the final exam, I call it the final exam. That's when the final exam is going to be put in front of you, man. And you got to take that final exam, which counts for your whole grade, so to speak. All right. So with that pretty much wraps up the video. Lord's will, this was edifying to the hopefully elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, also to the members of the hopefully elect, to the body of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, should I say. And until next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Rahawa Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of